I thought I was too old. I felt like a has-been. I felt like I was washed up. I felt like nobody cared anymore. And like, this was my life now. I'm going to sell thrifted clothes on eBay or Depop. So I started to go to the thrift store and like pick up clothes. And I was like wearing maybe like Gloria Vanderbilt's like skinny jeans from Costco and a sweatshirt. Like leggings and, you know, just really schlubbing it. And, you know, like nobody noticed me. And I didn't even think anything about it. I just thought that being invisible was life. And then I think like I had like accumulated quite a lot of clothes. And I was thinking, you know what? Like I have all these clothes. Like, why don't I just get dressed and style my clothes? And so I put together an outfit and instead of wearing the leggings, I got dressed, went to the thrift store. People almost immediately started talking to me. They started like walking up to me. They started said like, hey, like, you know, what do you think about this? Or like, oh, I want to show you something cool I just got. And, you know, for some reason they started coming up to me. And I realized then that there is power in style. So,
Yeah.
and I was not invisible. Like I was just treating myself like I was invisible. And then once I started to step into visibility, people came. And after a while, I realized like, oh, maybe I should start making content about fashion again, using my TikTok knowledge and transferring it into fashion again. And that's when I started making content on Instagram again.
So when was that? It feels like it was really recently.
Yeah, that was you can actually see the day that I decided. You can see it in the analytics. You can see the day, and it was actually kind of weird because like I was like scrolling TikTok, and there's a couple of people that I saw on there that were talking about knowing, like acting as if you already have it. It's like the manifestation kind of people. And then it reminded me of the story about like Bruce Willis, like how somebody's mom was dating Bruce Willis, and even when he was like a bartender in the Lower East Side and sleeping on people's sofas, like he knew he was going to be famous. Like he knew. And so I don't think I'm going to be famous, but like I have this feeling that I have an extraordinary life and I know that it's not over for me yet. Right. And so like I had like this knowing in my heart. And so when I started showing up on Instagram, you could see the day that I showed up in that energy and it took off. So it was December like 2023. So in January 2024, I started this 10 by 10 challenge, like 10 pieces of clothing over 10 days in 10 different ways. And I had 550 followers to start. And by the end of the 10 days, I had 5,000. And then today, like 18 months later, I have 182,000 followers on Instagram and a whole
Incredible.
new business. Yeah.
And it's so hard to grow on Instagram now. So I think that that is really huge that you grew that much and so quickly. I'm curious because yeah, you and I kind of, grew up in a fashion blogging era long before short form video. Of course,
Mhm,
YouTube existed, long form video existed.
mhm.
But you talked a little bit about kind of your strategy in short form video, but what's your experience been like now building audience and community in an era of short form?
It's a really good question because like I did things I like early on, I decided to do things really differently from the first time. Like I realized because I made a lot of mistakes and I didn't want to ever feel like I did at that time. And I really wanted to try to make something sustainable. Like I really wanted to add like sustainability into the fashion conversation in meaningful way. And so, and I feel like a lot of fashion content is around like consumption and particularly, and I talked about this, I just made a video about this actually. It's like even like doing like ethical, like working with sustainable brands is like really difficult because like a lot of them are so small that they are not part of affiliate networks. They're not on reward style. They're not on shop find
Shop
is it
my
shop find you have to like negotiate individually with them and like I had
Mhm.
to reach out to them and like say like hey do you have affiliates and like sometimes they do sometimes they don't. It's like and even getting them to talk to me with 182,000 followers is hard, you know? And
Yeah,
like, I mean, I could
interesting.
only imagine somebody who's just starting out, they probably don't get anything back. So it's like, so I decided that I was going to make my own products. So in the beginning, I thought that I could just go thrifting for people and have like these thrift bundles and they could pay me like $350 and I'd, you know, find like cool stuff in the thrift store for them and send it to them. But what I found was that people weren't interested in the thrifted clothes as much as they were interested in how to style them. And so I immediately said like, okay, so maybe I shouldn't do the thrifting. Maybe I should focus on the styling. And so I started a community. At the time it's called the Capsule Club, and now it's called the Iconic Style Studio. And it was really cool because we were just like we make weekly capsules, because I have this whole theory about how, you can make capsules out of the clothes already in your closet. Like, you don't have to go out and buy a whole new set of clothes and I think that most people already have more than enough clothes and they're just not wearing them. And so going into your
Mm.
closet once a week and picking out 10 items of clothing that match by color and setting them aside will reduce the decision fatigue that prevents you from wearing more of your clothes. And so we do this like once a week. And it just really opened up the idea that I could do this as like a real business. And so like I work as a personal stylist. I work one-on-one with people. I've grown the community. I just revamped the Iconic Style Studio, and we just had like a whole bunch of new members like in the community. I have to say it's so much more fulfilling to work with my followers directly than selling stuff to them and like not hearing from them. Like I like getting to know my followers, and I like to get to see the changes that happen in their lives because of the work that we do.